Welcome again, keepers of light. And I call you that because you are just that, a keeper of light. And how you keep the light is by letting go the heaviness that you accumulated in time, and a lot of it that you were born with. And so here we are. Doesn't matter how old you are, but if you're here, it is because you are ready to shed the weight that you have been carrying that has overlaid your character, your way of being in this reality. The reason for shedding is so that you attain, or rather that you purify. It is so that you purify yourself from the judgments and the opinions and the beliefs that and I want to backtrack here a little bit and I'll come back around again about this letting go and shedding. But before that, I do want to point out that what the overall aim, the thing that we're reaching for is to be able to see the full picture. It has come to my awareness that for a long time before this moment here of my awareness, that I was looking at life from the perspective of it being puzzle pieces that it appeared that way for me, that it were puzzle pieces that were missing, that I was learning how to put back together again. And this was helpful because, and if you do look at life this way, it's not a bad way, because it will lead you and it will take you to a place where once you've filled in enough of the puzzles, where you begin to see the whole picture. But the thing of it is that we, as a humanity, have learned to look at it as though some parts of the picture are wrong or to be rejected and pushed away. We have neglected looking at the whole picture from the perspective of the beauty that it is, the wholeness that it is. And because of this, we fail to embrace the all of it, the full scope of who we are. In my experience, and because I have had a strong connection to emotion, because I perceive them very intensely and have perceived them very intensely. It was that I rejected the strongly, powerfully intense emotions that were created from the puzzle pieces that were based on lies of some sort. Lies. And I want to use this word delicately because in the sense that lies we can come about lying in a very unintentional way. But when I use this word, I mean it in relation to, or in contrast to, what I know is truth, and truth as in what truth is what makes us expand rather than contract. And so maybe I shouldn't use the word lies, but it's a close enough word to paint the message. So beneath any negative experience, any experience that you would call negative, because all experiences are just experiences, and it is us calling them what they are that creates the perspective of negative and positive. But regardless, if you were to look at your negative experiences, your negative emotions, and if you were to look at the source of them, you would be able to see that there is a lie behind, or at the source of, or at the, that lies are what, a lie is what birthed the emotion and the experience, a lie of some sort. Lies, the lying being based on the fact that we are refusing to see the full picture of, we're refusing to see the whole picture. empowerment of humanity is in acknowledging that by leaving out and by pushing out and by judging whatever aspect of humanity that shows up in this moment, that in rejecting it, in denying its fruition, and by calling it bad, and judging it bad is in itself the perpetuation of it. And so to be able to step back and to be able to zoom yourself out is a skill. I'm going to call it zooming out. It's a skill that I encourage you to develop, to exercise. In that, from the perspective of zooming out and looking at what you see, then what you see is as much of the whole picture that you can. Because the only way in our 3D reality is really to use this tool, because we don't completely have access to the whole picture, but we can have access to more and more of it. And so I'm encouraging you to abandon trying to fill pieces or find pieces and put pieces back, to abandon that strategy for one that is more so inclined to accept what shows up in your life as part of the whole picture of your existence. And it is the whole picture of you that is of utmost importance. Because we, as a humanity, have failed to see the whole of ourselves. We have negated the aspects of ourselves, calling them darkness. Causing a fraction within ourselves. Not in so much as so there is anything to be solved, more so in that our perspective is a dismembered one. Our perspective of ourselves are dismembered. I mentioned emotion before, and I am reaching, let me see, to bridge this. And so for me, it was emotion. For you, whatever it is that appears intensely or that exists intensely to you in a way so as to have you believe that anything wrong is occurring, that anything bad is occurring, that anything unjust is occurring. Whatever that experience may be for you, know that you no longer have to run from it, because running is impossible, which is why it appeared so hard to change it, to transform it. It is because it exists in its glory as a part of the whole picture of who you are, not to be rejected, not to be pushed away. And the magnitude of intensity by which you experience it, once you've allowed yourself to embrace it, you, in effect, accept it as a part of who you are. Not only that, you begin to see the truth of it as it is. As it is beautiful. That whatever horror you beforehand experienced because of it, or as you thought because of it, you will find that in the same way you can experience a joy from it. Underneath the darkness is light and love. Because at the source of everything is love. And so love can birth anything, even that which we call ugly or crazy or stupid or horrible. Love is at the source. Love at the source as a motivation. I want to say more, but I have to cut it short now because I have something to do. But I'm so glad I was able to take a few minutes away to make this recording, because I have not made a recording in a while, and these meditations here are a calling for me to